Today, I'm sharing an article titled "My Husband's Emotional Abuse for 9 Years. Should I Divorce Over This Trivial Matter?" Let's listen together. Recently, I received a submission with the following content. Hello. I need you to give me some reassurance. I've been married to my husband for 9 years. During these 9 years, I've been enduring emotional abuse. He hardly communicates with me after work, except when it's about the children. He treats everything else with indifference. I'm tired too, gradually giving up on initiating conversations. Now, if the children aren't home, it's completely silent at home. I've also thought about divorce, but we live in a small town and our parents are very traditional. They think divorce is shameful. They say if I try a little harder, he might change. However, our recent arguments over our child transferring schools have escalated to the point where he started getting physical. Recently, I stayed at my parents' house for a week, and he didn't call even once. My parents are starting to waver too, suggesting that divorce might be an option. I'm torn. Our child is doing well academically, is well behaved, and really likes his dad. But seeing many girls raised in single-parent households, I worry they might develop personality issues in the future, affecting their relationships and marriages. My mother-in-law says to give him a few more years to mature, but I don't want to wait anymore. The first 2 years of our marriage were fine, but now I feel like my life has been ruined. Yet I fear that after divorce, I'll become a second-hand woman unable to remarry and bringing shame to my parents. I know Ahau, upon reading this, probably wants to wake me up but is too lazy to tell me. You've mentioned domestic and emotional abuse many times, but I still wanted to share this with you. Should I get a divorce? The opening line asks everyone a question: are you afraid of divorce? In this article, I hope everyone approaches it with this kind of thinking. Last month, when we started discussing divorce in the community, we received responses from all directions within a few hours. Divorce is so miserable. What should we do if we divorce? Why are so many women afraid to divorce? So we all lamented. Nowadays, many women have the capital to be independent individuals. However, when faced with the prospect of divorce, most people still hesitate. They fear not only divorce but also the judgment that follows. Some people even deny excellent women who dare to divorce because of it. So what if they're amazing? They still ended up divorced. People still habitually use marriage to shackle women. If a woman doesn't marry or remarries after a divorce, regardless of her accomplishments in other areas, she often receives sympathetic looks. Marriage is still seen as a woman's greatest value, which annoys me the most. It's just a divorce. What's the big deal? Even a lifetime without marriage isn't something remarkable. I never dare to look down on divorced women. I think those who aren't afraid of divorce or not getting married are extraordinary. It means these women are already sufficiently independent economically and spiritually, so they have strong inner strength to completely ignore public opinion and live the life they like. Bafo has a significant impact on women worldwide by living a life without marriage, childbirth, or household chores. She devotes all her time to things she's truly interested in, such as writing books and exploring literature and art. She lives as a benchmark, inspiring countless imprisoned souls of women. Does such a life need sympathy? It's not that no man wants her. Many men line up with marriage numbers, but none can handle her. When I was younger and less worldly, I often unconsciously felt sorry for unmarried women. But after meeting more people and seeing various ways women live their lives, when I meet divorced women, I always pause and ask myself, if I were a woman, would I be afraid of divorce? This fear includes whether I have enough money to leave this man without affecting my quality of life, whether I have strong enough solitude ability to drink tea and watch movies alone without feeling lonely, whether I have a strong spiritual world and deep self-awareness to live happily despite external judgments, and whether I love him too much. So even if he betrays me, I have the objective conditions to leave, but subjectively find it difficult to let go. So entangled, so chaotic. We should cherish marriage as much as possible, as there's happiness in it, but we must always be vigilant. When there's no room for retreat and we can't bear it anymore, whether we have the conditions not to fear divorce is what really matters. Divorce is never the worst thing. Being unable to divorce because you want to but lack the ability to do so, having to endure the unbearable, and being controlled by men without the possibility of turning over, that's the worst thing. Of course, equating independence with not getting married is wrong. When I watched Sex and the City years ago, the protagonist complained that women easily form discrimination because of marriage, looking down on those who don't marry and pitying them. Those who don't marry look down on those who marry, thinking they're mediocre. Independence and whether or not to marry have nothing to do with each other. As we fight for women's freedom not to marry, we must also allow those who enjoy family life to marry and have children happily. Independence allows for diversity, not a new way of life suppressing another way of life. To marry or not, to divorce or not, should be decided by oneself and should be able to bear. That's true independence. This article sharing ends here. Thank you for your company. I hope you gain new insights every day.